The Retro Arcade 1984 has brought new life to downtown Springfield.
It all started, we had a bunch of games, me and my brother and my brother-in-law, and we kind of wanted to get them all in one spot. And we kind of went through 2 iterations before we got here. We decided that we would try to find space to rent to put them all in. And when other people started hearing about it, they were asking if they helped play the rent. Could they also just come in and play the games? And then my brother actually used to work at an arcade in the 80s, and he was like, why don't we just open an arcade instead of renting a storage space to put them in? And that's kind of how we got here.
Since the arcade's founding in 2005, we learned how they became 1984.
My brother and brother-in-law came up with that name. It is the year that they graduated. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is because you can kind of throw some 1984 book references in there. We kind of do like Big Brother's Watching You and stuff like that. Another reason is 1984 is kind of considered the last good year of the arcade machines. 1985, when the Nintendo came out, you could start playing all this stuff at home. And so the arcades kind of started to dwindle at that point.
The founders are pleasantly surprised from the arcade's success.
I don't think any of us expected it to be still this popular 20 years into the future. You know, our first goal was the last 5 years and kind of go from there, and we're still going strong. So, and I will go another 20 if we can.
A good place for people to go of all ages, you know, so there's not many times that Grandpa, literally, Grandpa's age person can go in with a kid that's 8 years old, and we can compete on a video game that we both like to play.
It used to be the nostalgia. We used to have a lot of people come in because they hadn't seen these games before, but now that we've been here for a while, we're just kind of a staple downtown, and I think people come downtown and just come here because we've been here for so long. So they'll come here, hang out, and then go downtown and eat or watch a movie or something like that.
The owner's personal collection of retro arcade machines set down the stepping stones for the arcade.
Before we even decided to open an arcade, we had about 30 that we just collected over 30 years of just, you know, from the 80s up. And then once we kind of decided that we wanted to kind of start doing this, we kind of looked for them, and we've literally gotten them everywhere. We've gotten them anywhere from eBay, or it was kind of before Facebook Marketplace. So we'd find them different places online that people were selling them. And then once we got opened, we actually had people call us. Be like, hey, I've got these 2 games in my basement, do you want them? You know, and then we kind of went from there.
Keeping a retro arcade requires a unique amount of maintenance.
We do a lot of that ourselves. Jason's on that most of the time. Every day when you turn the power on, something's probably not working right. So it's constant maintenance. But these games are pretty reliable. I mean, you're talking about games that are older than most of the people that come in here. And for the most part, they can be cheaply repaired. There's some things that are very hard to find, though. Monitors are getting very hard to find. So that is a skill set that not many people have anymore, and finding people and technicians that understand electronics, vintage electronics, is a needed skill set.
1984 is always looking for new opportunities for celebrations and special events.
I don't know off the top of my head that we have anything future. We kind of just come up with stuff as it comes up. We're getting the downstairs set up for Stranger Things right now. We're kind of turning half of it into the Upside Down. And then we've got some New Year's Eve stuff that we're planning, and we're going to keep the Stranger Things going for at least through the new year, because the new season is through the new year. After that, I don't know. We'll come up with the next new thing after that.
You know, we've been here 20 years. I think people probably like it a little bit the way it is. I don't think we want to change the core of what we are, but I do like introducing new things. So if we can have some flex spaces or some areas that are in 84 that can change routinely, maybe do something different every year or 6 months, or maybe do more events.
The The board of 1984 sees no end in sight.
It's basically been sustainable since the first weekend. So we kind of came into this thinking that if we all kind of threw in a little bit of money, we could keep it going. And luckily, we haven't had to do that. So we'll knock on all sorts of wood. But we survived COVID. If you could survive being closed through COVID, I think you could survive anything.
I think as long as we continue to show up and we like being here and other people like being here, it'll just continue on.
When our lease is up, we'll all have that conversation and all of us want to keep going. So our end plan is to not end.
Straight from the 80s, I'm Aidan Bryant, and this has been Tribal Studios.